I am Damon Birchfield. I'm 45 years old. I live between Auckland and the Waikato, and I work at Ecomatters Environment Trust in Auckland. Well, without being contradictory, I don't know if that's true. I mean, but because we have a lot of social issues in New Zealand in reality, and we have one of the highest rates of youth suicide in the world. You know, we have a lot of actually children growing up with not adequate food, not adequate shelter. So, you know, New Zealand, I guess I grew up in New Zealand in the 1970s, and so I know what New Zealand was like then compared to what we are now. So I know this is a long-winded answer, but I challenge that question because I think, yes, there are some people in New Zealand who have a very good life, and those people probably what they would say is their happiness is around the fact that, yeah, we can have a reasonable work-life balance in New Zealand. We do have a beautiful natural environment around us. We can get to a lot. You can always get to a beautiful beach or a beautiful lake or a beautiful river or a beautiful mountain in New Zealand. But by the same token, you know, environmental indicators tell us the quality of all of those places is not improving. So that's not a given that those places will always be there and available to us if we don't do things to take care now. So what's changed in New Zealand is we've become a lot more individually focused. In New Zealand in the 70s we were a very egalitarian society, and we didn't have a lot of difference between high and low income people. You know, now we have a great divide and a growing divide, which of course is a trend that's happening across the world. You know, you're seeing wealth concentrated with a reducing number of people, and more people actually are scrapping it out. And so I'm reluctant to suggest that we are any happier than anywhere else. We have the same challenges and the same issues, and we have an economic system that favours the wealthy over the poor, like everywhere. So we need to address that. My view is EVs seems like they will be a part of a sustainable future, a more sustainable future, but they don't get around the issue of a single person sitting in a car going to a place and all of the infrastructure you need to support that model. And so I think while they're better than petrol engines and they take us some of the way toward a cleaner future, there's still an enormous amount of embodied energy in an electric vehicle. To manufacture an electric vehicle has a huge environmental impact. So yes, I think it's positive, but I still think what we need to be investing more in is you know, improved public transport, improved cycling infrastructure, walking infrastructure, because that's really sustainable. You know, a bike has almost no emissions, it's easy to make, it's highly efficient. A human riding a bike is the most efficient engine on earth in terms of energy in and distance out. So I think we need to be aware of those things. It's not a complete solution. The most important ecological transition that we can make is to see ourselves as part of nature and part of a whole system, rather than a separate entity that is able to exploit nature for our own pleasure and our own benefit and gain. So the single most important step is to see ourselves as part of that whole system, because once you've made that breakthrough and you really feel that deeply, then you'll start to understand that what you do to the system, you're ultimately doing to yourself. Now that sounds cliche and we hear that a lot, but the reality is we drink the water. If the water is not clean, we harm ourselves, you know. If the air is not clean, we're breathing in pollutants, that makes us sick. The first ecological transition we need to make is understand we're part of a whole system, and then after that it's easier to start to do different things every day. So walk instead of drive, if I can. You know, walk to the local shop. Don't take the car. That's better for you. That's better for the planet. You know, don't take plastic bags when I go shopping. Take a reusable bag. You know, do I need to buy this to be happy? Maybe I don't need this. Maybe rather than going shopping, I'll go for a walk and spend some time by the stream. You know, so it's all of those things that we need to look at, and I think that would be how we will make that transition.